Hello everyone and welcome back, this time to LawBreakers, which is, as of the time of this recording, in open beta. It is running across the weekend and a little bit into Monday, so if you want to give it a shot after this video, by all means I would encourage you to go give it a try. So, what is LawBreakers? Well, as you will shortly be able to gather from the gameplay on screen, it is an arena-style FPS with class-like abilities. Some might compare it to Overwatch, but I prefer not to make that comparison simply because it feels nothing like Overwatch to play. The FPS mechanics are so different, it feels like. I mean, it might not be the case, but it definitely feels to be a different breed of game, if you want to call it that. So, well, what is it? It's a class-based shooter where you can pick from a variety of classes, where each class tends to specialize in some style of combat. But the key thing is that separates this game from Overwatch is that every class is focused on combat. Some can throw out healing drones for sure, some are better at close range, some at long range, but every class is potentially a crazy murderer waiting to be unleashed with the correct play. So there's no holy trinity per se here. Sure, some classes are tankier than others, some classes can do a bit of healing, but the long and short of it is, this is very much a game where everyone is responsible for getting their fair share of frags, in order to help the team as well as playing the objective. So, this is made by Bosky Studios, who is the new studio made by Cliffy B, who was responsible for the origination of Unreal Tournament, which was one of those kind of classic arena shooters series in the golden age of just, crazy frags, crazy fast movement, and glorious just arena-style combat where you run around a map, pick up crazy weapons with just amazing responsiveness to them. I'm thinking the flak cannon, just an absolute classic of a weapon that feels great to use, and that element of Unreal Tournament definitely carries over into LawBreakers. Most weapons in this game feel amazing. The rocket launcher that you can see that I'm currently using now, it feels fantastic. It's got 6 shots. Each shot feels like you're literally firing a rocket at your enemy, which is fantastic. And naturally you can rocket jump and do some cool stuff with that, pogo around the map, improve this class's otherwise quite slow movement speed with that ability, but yeah, the main weapon feels fantastic to use. But that is only part of the story. This class naturally has other abilities that can be harnessed. Every class in this game has a mobility option. This class, the Titan, is rather slow and tanky, so she has a bit of a worse ability option than the others. She has this leap, basically a Hulk-style ground pound where she leaps across the air, a fairly short distance, slams into the ground, does a bit of AoE damage, which is okay, but this is augmented by the fact that she can rocket jump, and in the 0G sections of the map, which is another thing that you gotta consider, she can also fire her rocket backwards, as can every class in the game, in order to propel her in a specific direction, faster than she otherwise would. So, other than this mobility option, there is also often a utility ability tied to E on the PC, and whatever button that corresponds to on the console. This is coming to PC and PS4, by the way, and possibly to Xbox in future, but that has not been confirmed. This E ability for the Titan is this grenade that sticks to a surface, and if an opponent gets close, it activates, explodes, and slows them down, and this naturally has good synergy with your rocket launcher. It makes your rockets easier to hit, which is pretty sick. But it's not a super powerful ability. No, the super powerful ability is the ultimate, which is tied on the PC to Q. And for this class, it is probably one of the coolest abilities in the game, ultimate-wise, where essentially the Titan gains, a good 300-400 health, it looks like, and starts shooting lightning from her hands. And this lightning, I do believe, maybe gives you a bit of health back if you get kills with it, but regardless, you get the chance to become a Sith Lord, which is definitely something that most games don't let you do, so I think I'm quite happy with that exchange. You lose your other weapons and abilities for the duration of the ultimate, but you get to shoot lightning from your hands and be an otherwise god in the arena, so I think that's pretty damn cool. And that is definitely something that is the theme of this game, if there ever was one. Cool is definitely the rule here. And you can definitely see how that would be the case, given Cliffy B's kind of legacy in Unreal Tournament and Gears of War. Unreal Tournament was all about really fun weapons that you ran around the map, you collected, and then you got amazing frags with. And that was really fun and cool. And there was also, you know, you could triple jump and stuff. That was pretty awesome. And Gears of War especially had the rule of cool with the Lancer, with the chainsaw, the iconic chainsaw kind of bayonet thing. Very 40k in the inspiration there, Cliffy B, but regardless, that was just an amazing inclusion. You could literally run up to someone and chainsaw them into bits, and that's damn cool. And in this game, a lot of the main weapons for the classes are super fun and cool to use. Like, this is a really satisfying rocket launcher. You know, lots of player feedback here. If you hit someone, they get pushed backwards. If you kill someone, they explode. And also, worth mentioning, every class can have this kind of default kick as their melee ability. So every class can essentially, instead of like punching you or whacking you with a weapon, they kick you. And if you get killed with that kick, you get on your kill cam this kind of imprint of a footprint, or like a boot print or something like that. And that's just cool. You know, it's pretty fun, it's pretty childish, but it's very, very fun. And I think a lot of people would appreciate the sense of just, hey, this game is not taking itself too seriously. It's sort of bulletstormy in that way, I guess. But yeah, this is a very cool game. You know, it wouldn't make sense for the Titan to shoot lightning from their hands, but they do anyway, because why the hell not? And also, as you'll be able to see on screen, there is the zero-G aspect to this game as well. In the center parts of most maps, there will be a zero-G section, and this naturally alters combat quite a bit, and more specifically, movement quite a bit. What this means is that when you shoot a weapon, you actually get propelled in the direction of where, well, in the opposite direction of where you're shooting. So if you're just shooting normally at people, you'll actually kind of stabilize in the air a bit and kind of hover there or start going backwards a bit. But equally, if you do the thing where you shoot your weapon backwards over your shoulder, which every class can do by the way, you will, to differing extents, propel yourself forward, which is super cool. So this actually changes depending on what weapon your class is currently using. So the Titan, being loaded with the rocket launcher, has a very powerful weapon. So this leads to an equally powerful kind of propellant forwards. Other classes with smaller caliber weapons, you know, they're not going to be able to propel themselves quite as far. But maybe they have a faster rate of fire, so they compensate in that direction. Or classes that have weaker weapons often have better mobility abilities tied to their left shift. So the Assassin class, for example, which you won't see in the gameplay, but I don't actually enjoy playing as that class, but that class has the ability to slingshot around the map Spider-Man style with a grappling hook, which is as fun as it sounds. But naturally, her weapon can't propel her because she's equipped with blades, but she can propel herself with great momentum from zero-G sections into normal kind of gravity sections, and, you know, vice versa. So essentially every class has the potential to move quite damn fast, and that's definitely appreciated. It's very fun to do so. Getting frags whilst moving at high speed, there's definitely something super satisfying about it that we saw back in the days of Quake and Unreal itself. And yeah, this game is just super fun. It's a lot about moving about at high speeds, getting frags whilst you do so, trying to keep your aim on people as they move at high speeds and do kind of crazy maneuvers. And yeah, this class that you'll be seeing currently is a gunslinger. It is a very cool class to play, and it's one of my favorites currently. Essentially, the gunslinger is equipped with two different pistols, one in each hand. The left-hand one, which is the one you'll be using most often probably, is a very spammable kind of burst-fire pistol, and the other one in the right hand is sort of like a sci-fi revolver with a very powerful kind of single-shot capability. And you just saw the footprint thing there, which is pretty cool, pretty cool. But yeah, the revolver can be used for long-range engagements. You can charge up your shot with it. So yeah, this class has a lot of long-range capability, but can also be quite effective in the mid-range with the left-hand pistol. And if things get really messed up, say a Wraith happens to get really close to you, which is a very close range class typically, you can just start flailing about with your kick and spamming with your pistol, which, you know, sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. But yeah, so similarly to the Titan, it's just really cool. Like the idea of having two different kind of firing modes, one in each hand, that's just sick. And the idea that you've got like this kind of holographic kind of ammo readout, it's not anything particularly new. We've definitely seen that in other games, in many sci-fi games, really. But it's the whole kind of thing definitely works well together. As you just saw there, I just like lowered my revolver, aimed it at him, and just like pew, and he's dead. Very fun stuff. And this is definitely what this game absolutely nails. It is a very fun experience, regardless of what game mode you're going to be playing. And the game modes, by the way, are just tweaks on game modes that you've probably seen in other FPSs over the years. There's essentially a area control mode where there's like areas that you can capture and get points from. There's a couple of variants on capture the flag. There's a blitzball mode where you capture a ball and take it to get a goal at your side. There's also uplink where you take a battery to your side, and then you have to defend it to charge it to eventually get the point. So it's like a slower version of blitzball. But yeah, the game modes are just things that you would have seen in other games, quite frankly. But the overall experience is super fun. Each class has a really strong identity, and each class is very capable of kicking your ass if you're not paying attention. Even the medic class in this game, the battle medic, she's equipped with grenade launchers and jump jets. So she'll literally be raining down grenades from above. She's definitely no mercy. And that's kind of where this game differs from Overwatch. I might have already mentioned it, but there is no dedicated healer who's awful at combat but great at healing. There is no dedicated tank who's awful at DPS but can take a ton of damage. You know, every class is very capable of fragging, and that's very satisfying. Basically, if you see an enemy and you can shoot them, you'd probably best shoot them. But yeah, hopefully this gameplay in the background has given you a bit of an idea as to how this game plays. It definitely takes a few seconds, well, a few games to get used to how fast-paced it is. Definitely faster paced than Overwatch is, because of the focus on fragging above all else, whilst you're securing the objectives, whatever those might be. But yeah, it's super fun. Every class can do crazy things that make you think, oh, that's cool, that's really cool. And yeah, I do hope it does well. There's no guessing how it will do on launch. It's releasing on the 8th of August, I do believe, so just over a week to go as of the time of this recording. But yeah, I do hope it does well. I hope it captures a bit of an audience. It definitely deserves it. It's quite well made. It's got a bunch of quite good features, like different game modes that we haven't seen before, like fresh takes on old game modes such as mentioned, like capture the zone and capture the flag, all those kind of standard stuff with tweaks. The classes are all really satisfying to use. If you have a specific game like playstyle in FPSs, chances are you can find one of those in this game. And yeah, it's really fast-paced, really frenetic, really fun, and it will definitely get your adrenaline pumping. So if you want to give it a shot, as mentioned, the open beta is still on over Sunday, and yeah, it should be an absolute blast. So hopefully this gave you an idea of how the game plays. Very fast-paced, very fun, lots of gibs everywhere, and if you want to try it out, by all means. So as always guys, thank you for watching. Hopefully I'll see you on the next one, and this is me, signing off. Bye bye!
Enemy uplink connected.
You were living on borrowed time.